Sawasdee krap and welcome to the Thaiger, our daily Thailand News Today program. Got a big story about Songkran coming up later in the news and a whole lot more. I think we better get started. Thai Airways has submitted a rehabilitation plan in accordance with a Central Bankruptcy Court order after the receiver's appointment last September. The airline's acting president says the rehabilitation plan aims to fully restructure and help the national flag carrier to regain profits. The company has revealed its planned recovery to the media and says the savings and new profit centres will come from multiple aspects of the airline. The document says it will fall on the strengths from its branding, customer loyalty, service-minded employees, a competitive cost base and Thailand's unique geographical advantage as the centre of the ASEAN region. The document describes the revised airline as a private high-quality full-service carrier with a strong Thai brand, connecting Thailand to the world and consistently generating a sustainable profit margin under the four pillars, which include being the preferred carrier for travel to and from Thailand, tailored to the ability to pay of our core customer segments. The document also says it will offer cheaper base fares as well as flying only to destinations that are profitable. They're restructuring the size of the organisation as well as processes and operating systems. They're also reducing the number of aircraft types from 12 to only 5. The company also plans to invest in digital technology to increase online sales. Based on the transformation program's projections, the national carrier says it's expected to generate an earnings before interest and tax margin of approximately 10% by 2025. Now, please comment below about your thoughts on the reboot of the national carrier. Is the brand worth saving? Do their proposals sound like they're making enough changes? And importantly, will you give them another chance when they start flying regularly again? The Thai government is looking at offering free C-19 vaccines to migrant workers who are covered under the nation's social security program. The Thai Ministry of Labour is set to discuss the move with the Social Security Board. If approved, over 2.3 million migrant workers would be inoculated for free, estimated to cost around 3 billion baht. The Labour Minister says migrant manual labourers are vital to Thai industries and the economy. Therefore, they should not be left out of the vaccination programs. Frontline medical personnel, people who have been working in close contact with the infected, elderly people, those suffering from congenital diseases, and people in high-risk areas are to be the first recipients of the vaccines, which could be either from Sinovac or AstraZeneca. After the high-risk groups are inoculated, the general public will follow, with some tourist-heavy areas to see expat residents included in the vaccination program. Now, we know you want to know some more specific information about this, but at this stage, this is all we know about expats being included on the free list. Chiang Mai has ranked as the third most polluted city in the world yesterday, according to Air Visual, following Lahore in Pakistan and New Delhi in India. The northern Thai city was recorded to have an average of PM 2.5 dust level higher than 200. All four air quality monitoring stations in the municipal area reported the PM as exceeding the safe level, with the Deputy Chief of an Air Pollution Command citing some 928 hotspots detected across the nation's northern provinces. At this time of the year, the northern capital often registers in the top cities in the world for poor air quality. In neighbouring Tak province to the south, the PM 2.5 and 10 ratings exceeded the safe level for the past 4 consecutive days, affecting people's health and road visibility. In Mae Sot district, people are being advised to avoid all outdoor activities and stay away from areas with high air pollution. The governor of Tak says the province has initiated measures to prevent forest fires and to prohibit the burning of old crops for 2 months, starting from March 1. Those who are caught burning or carrying hunting equipment will be charged by the forest patrol officers. The Thai musician and anti-government activist known as Amicks has had his bail request declined. The singer was arrested at the Ratchathani hospital in the central province of Ayutthaya on charges of lèse majesté and violation of the Computer Crimes Act. He's accused of being one of 3 people to set fire to a portrait of His Majesty the King outside Bangkok's Klong Prem Central Prison on the night of February the 28th. The criminal court turned down the request on the grounds that it considers Amicks a flight risk. The singer's mother had offered a bail payment of 90,000 baht. The singer has been allowed to remain at the Police General Hospital in the Pathumwan district of the capital for the next 12 days. He'll be under police custody while receiving treatment for injuries sustained in a high fall. Officers say they will meet with the singer's doctor today to determine whether he can be discharged and transferred to the Bangkok remand prison. Thailand has hosted the first group of international tourists to carry out a golf quarantine. 42 golfers from South Korea and Japan flew into Thailand on February the 19th, entering quarantine at the Ayutthaya Golf Resort in the central province of Nakhon Nayok. Guests following Thailand's golf quarantine program are required to remain in their rooms for the first 3 days of their stay, after which they can roam freely around the resort and play golf. During their stay, guests are tested 3 times. In order to qualify for golf quarantine, travellers must arrive from a low-risk country and be in possession of all the paperwork required to enter Thailand, including a certificate of entry, adequate health insurance and evidence of a negative C-19 test taken 72 hours before travel. Presumably they also need to be able to play golf. And Thailand's annual Waste of Water, the traditional Songkran festival, has been given the all clear as long as the festivities are in line with the C-19 prevention measures. PM Prayut Chan-o-cha says people will have to abide by social distancing rules during the Songkran holiday from April the 13th to the 15th. It looks like you're going to need a bigger water pump pistol, as short-range shooters may infringe on the social distancing guidelines. The annual Songkran festival, held at the end of the country's hot season and meant to be welcoming in the wet season, is also the Thai New Year. Apart from being the biggest annual holiday in Thailand, it's also become a bit of a backpacker pilgrimage. The gentle Thai tradition of pouring water over Buddha images has somehow morphed into a huge water fight, particularly at the country's tourist magnets, where the celebrations have become a huge water fight that can last up to a week. Allowing Songkran to take place this year is intended to help stimulate the economy, which was battered over the past year due to the pandemic. Popular spots for Songkran celebrations, like Bangkok's Khao San Road, have been given the OK to hold events as long as they abide by this year's coronavirus-specific rules. Phuket, Pattaya and Chiang Mai are also likely to announce big celebrations this year to make up for the cancellation of last year's Songkran festival. So plenty of news today. You may notice our news broadcast getting slightly longer, and we hope to be adding some extra segments to it very soon as well. Now, you get all this for free, so the least you can do is please subscribe to the channel. You know where the button is, so please do the right thing, and we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.